Sit back, relax, and enjoy The Drive on the Superstation CJOB 68.
Talking about New Year's resolutions in 2010, and my next guest, a personal friend of mine, he's a radio announcer. We actually were colleagues back in the early 1990s. But he's also a certified coach practitioner, a motivational speaker whose own story really, if you're looking to lose weight and get fit and take your life into your own hands and really make it mean something, his story is a true inspiration. Just 6 short years ago, he weighed in at a staggering 600 pounds. He's since lost an incredible 380 pounds over the course of the past few years, and his desire is to motivate and educate others so that they can make the necessary changes to overcome their issues as well. Certainly welcome Joel Lamoureux to the show. Hey, Joel.
Hey, Happy New Year. Thanks for having me on the program, Karen.
I haven't chatted with you in a long time.
No kidding.
So really, Joel, your story is a true inspiration. 600 pounds. I can't even fathom. I mean, we all put on a few extra pounds here and there throughout the course of a year. 600 pounds. What is that physically like?
Well, at 600 pounds, life doesn't exist of much, in all honesty. My daily existence was basically me sitting on the couch eating. I was eating anywhere from 10 to 12, sometimes 14,000 calories a day. So
what would a typical, let's say a typical dinner for you be? Just to, it's hard to think of things in terms of calories, but what would you have for a typical dinner?
Well, the meals were significant. As an example, a lunchtime meal might be 2 triple hamburgers with 2 extra large orders of fries, and of course I didn't want anybody to think that I'd be eating all that, so I'd order 2 drinks to go along with that. And in the mid-afternoon, I'd have a big snack, like a big box of crackers, go home, eat a large meal, like a giant, 16-ounce steak, and in the evening, one of my daily rituals, 7 days a week, 365 days a year, I would eat probably a minimum 2 boxes of potato chips and all the, goodies that go with that, the dips and the pop. And it was a constant barrage of eating. It was just day to day. The only feeling I can describe when it came to me and how my relationship worked with food was euphoria. I would get up in the morning and knowing that I would be able to eat what I want, when I wanted, for the whole day was an absolute euphoric feeling for me, almost like a heroin user.
Did you feel that because you could do whatever you wanted, that was the only thing in your life that you actually had control over?
Absolutely, and control being the operative word there. I convinced myself that I had control, but in reality, I had zero control. I was in a total downward spiral, addicted to food, not even recognizing that I had this addiction to food. And at the same point in time, whereas I thought I could control it day to day, it had total control over me. It told me what I was going to do, when I was going to do it. In fact, my days were all programmed around my meals. If I knew that I was going to a certain location, I would program the meal around that. So I would truly live my life based on what I was going to consume for food.
It's really strange for a lot of people who maybe aren't aware that an addiction to food is a real addiction. You can understand an addiction to nicotine. I mean, it's a chemical dependency, or an addiction to alcohol. But how do you explain being addicted to food?
It's interesting, too, because I think the medical industry, the health professionals that are working on trying to find some sort of resolve to the health crisis that looms, especially for the youth when it comes to obesity, but to recognize, finally to hear them recognize addiction to food as a legitimate addiction is very rewarding for me, because I know I've lived with it my whole life. Difference with alcohol, drugs, smoking, those types of things, you don't have to do them. If you've quit, you've quit. You're done, congratulations. Problem is with food, you've got to eat. You need the energy, you need the fuel to drive your body every day. And to have little or no control over that is overwhelming, frustrating. It led to, for me, depression, and ultimately a point in my life where I felt like I just was not going to live any longer. Here I was when I approached 600 pounds and above 600 pounds, that I felt like I was going to die. I had given up hope. I had just resolved that my life was going to be a short one.
Now, people can be absolutely cruel. And I know, we had a short chat yesterday on the telephone. What is the absolute worst thing that you can recall someone either saying to you or doing to you as an obese person?
Well, yeah. let's be honest, when you have other addictions like alcoholism or smoking or drug use, those are addictions that you can hide.
Absolutely.
When you have an addiction to food, your body will react to that. I mean, the more calories you put into your body, the larger your body gets if you don't burn those calories off. My body mass index was 80%. I was 600 pounds, and I was working in radio at another radio station in Winnipeg, as a matter of fact. And I was asked to be the master of ceremonies of this particular event. There was this young, hot, new country singer that was up and rising, and his song was on the charts in North America. And I was asked to MC one of the shows where he was playing in Winnipeg. And here I was, feeling a little bit good about myself on this one particular day because the clothes just kind of felt right. I literally had only a few articles of clothing that would fit me that I could wear in public that I felt comfortable and confident with. So I went to this venue and was told to go into the green room in the back to await the arrival of this rising country singer. And as I got in the room, inside, there were 3 walls that had windows on them. So they marched this long, tall, lanky country star, and he's standing before me, and I'm thinking, that's the guy, that's the superstar. Shake his hand, shake his guitar player's hand, and we're now going down to the stage. I'm feeling good. I just met the big star. I'm about to bring him on stage in front of 1,200 people, and I see his reflection in the windows surrounding me, and he's making the shape of a big round ball and sort of squatting down and waddling like a sumo wrestler behind me. And instantly, my heart sank and my eyes started welling up with tears as I walked down to that stage. Now here I was, just robbed of my dignity and my confidence with this man standing behind me, and I've got to go on stage and perform and be the guy, like nothing's wrong. So I went on stage, introduced him, marched off the stage, and marched right out the front doors of that club, and I didn't stay for the show. And I went to my vehicle, and I started crying. I just felt like, if this is what my life is all about, I just don't feel like I want to be a part of it anymore.
And I mean, at one point, you've admittedly said that you were suicidal.
Absolutely. It was a thought that entered my mind because, like that incident I just described, it was a constant barrage of negative impact, negative comments, leaving the house. And not only, I mean, children are children. Children will not understand, and they will mock based on size. When you see a 600-pound man walking towards you, that's something you take notice of. It's not something that you just, did I see something? But parents and couples and young people and old people, each and every one of them looking at me sideways, and I could hear them commenting. In fact, I became aware, almost looking for those comments where they were seeking me out to mock me and to make fun of me. So when you have those constant, negative, impactful things occurring in your life every day, you want to tend to stay away from those things.
You know, what's really interesting is that we're always told we're more readily believing the negative things that people say to us than, you know, oh, wow, you were really great today, or I love that shirt on you. You're more apt to not believe those statements as, you know, the negative ones, the things that you said you were hearing from complete strangers.
Absolutely. You know, it's easy to dismiss those because I know for myself, I would say they're just saying that. They're just saying that to you to be nice. But here I was feeling so negative about myself, in depression, feeling there was no hope, no optimism, nothing to look forward to. So those statements meant nothing to me. It was just me dismissing them and saying, they're just saying that, they don't really mean it. So that gives you the state of mind that I was in at that time when you're feeling so bad about yourself and you feel like you have nothing to live for.
You know, your story is truly amazing. You've turned it all around in a scant, 6 years now. You've lost almost 400 pounds.
Yeah.
We're going to chat about that in just a couple of minutes. My guest right now, Joel Lamoureux. He's a certified coach, practitioner, motivational speaker, and we're going to hear more of Joel's story and how he turned it around in just a couple of minutes. Stay right here on CJOB 68.